Hey, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to film with you this exciting video where you will see how I write an essay, mainly the IELTS General Task 1 letter. Yeah, that's going to be a general video. So if you need the academic IELTS, you will have to go and watch another video of mine, which is going to be linked here when it's up. Also, please, throughout this video, don't mind me looking down because there is my laptop and I'm going to write the essay that I wrote for you. And here on the screen, you will see all of the sentences coming and, maybe I will highlight something, maybe I will give some comments, but for you, the essay is going to pop up here. Also, remember that as always, you can download the PDF transcript of this lesson from the link that is in the description box down below. Why is this so hard to say? The description box. I always struggle saying that for some reason. Okay, so the task for today's letter is: your child is going on a 3-day school trip to another country. The head teacher wants to find parents to go with the group and you would like to go. Write a letter to the head teacher. In your letter, say why you would like to go on the trip. Suggest what you could do to help during the trip, and ask other questions about the trip. So, before we begin, let's quickly recap what is needed and required from you in the task 1 on IELTS writing. You must write an essay or a letter in this particular situation in the response to a task, which we have already read. You have to write at least 150 words, but it is normally advised to write not more than 200. You should spend around 20 minutes on this task, and this task weighs 1/3 of the whole writing module on IELTS, because the whole writing module is given 60 minutes, and this particular task takes around 20 minutes to finish. You will be assessed in 4 different areas. That's first, task achievement, how well you fulfill the task that is given to you. Second is coherence and cohesion, how easy it is to read your essay and understand what is going on there. How logical is the whole progression of your essay. Third is the lexical resource. How well and to the point you use your vocabulary, how wide your vocabulary is, and maybe what common or not common words do you use. Remember, it's very crucial to use as many synonyms as possible. Do not repeat the same stuff over and over again. And lastly, the grammar range. And here you are assessed based on how well you use your grammar, how many different grammar structures you present, whether your sentences are complex or not, and whether you mix different kinds of sentences. It's not very great to use only complex sentences in your essay or letter because no one talks like this, right? We have in our speech both quite short and plain sentences and complex ones as well. There are 2 main types of the IELTS General Task 1 letter, and that's an informal and quite formal letter. To distinguish between them, you have just to look for the word friend in the task. If the task specifically implies that you have to address your letter to a friend, then it's an informal letter. And when there is no friend mentioned, then it's definitely a formal one. Okay, let's start from the structure. In this letter, the first thing that we should be thinking about is the greeting. And for this one, I chose Dear Teacher, which is the most appropriate. Trying to address your teacher as respected sir or respected gentleman or lady is of course not the most appropriate thing. So please, when you are thinking about the greeting, try to assess how well you know the person, who the person is, and how you should address them so that it's not offensive or just inappropriate. After we addressed the person, we kind of proceed to a small introduction, and in the introduction the first line is usually a friendly, nice intro line that kind of sets the nice tone of the whole letter, and then we usually kind of showcase what the whole letter will be about, and we give the hint or we introduce the topic why we are writing to the person. Then we kind of go through the bullet points of what we should address in our task and conclude everything again with a nice line and our name to sign everything off. Okay, so dear teacher, thank you for the initiative to take the children to such an interesting trip. I am happy that the school supports our kids' desires to experience the life abroad. I am writing to you because I figured that my annual vacation starts the same day as the journey, so I'm able to join you. In fact, I have been dreaming of visiting Paris for ages. So this is our introduction. You already know that we chose the Dear Teacher greeting because it's the most appropriate one. Then we start off with a very nice, friendly line that shows our kind attitude to the person we are writing to. And we started from thank you for the initiative. We thank the teacher and the school for this nice thing to bring our kids to the trip, which we of course appreciate. So this kind of sets the whole tone. Obviously, this can be very different. You can ask, how are you, simply, or you can say, I hope you are well, I hope your business is going well, or something like that if you're writing to another person. Then we're getting straight to the points of our task, and the first sentence here is that I'm writing to you because I figured that my annual vacation starts the same day as the journey. So we kind of explain why we are writing the letter. Also, pay attention to the words that I've chosen here. I use figure, that is less common than realize, for example. Also, I use the annual vacation, and beware that the synonym holiday may just be out of context here a little bit. So being very attentive with the synonyms you use is something that makes you stand out from the other applicants. Then in the last sentence I write, in fact, I have been dreaming of visiting Paris for ages. And here I use the present perfect continuous tense and the idiom for ages, which gives us points for the grammar range. Now let's get further to the second paragraph, and I write there, fortunately, I can take care of a couple of practical things. For example, I'm quite good at cooking, so it will be not a problem for me to prepare some snacks for our bus commute. In addition, I will be happy to think of 2 or 3 board games for children to keep them entertained while covering long distances. So at first I start the sentence with fortunately, and that's a link in words. Pay attention that in this paragraph I start every sentence with a linking word. That is very nice for our cohesion and coherence. My first sentence, which is I can take care of a couple of practical things, kind of introduces all of the next sentences and creates a bit of a coherent storyline here. Then I use I'm good at cooking, and this collocation to be good at again gives you points for your grammar range and for your lexical resource. I also try to substitute the common word trip with the bus commute, just not to repeat myself. And lastly, I use the passive voice to keep someone entertained in my last sentence. Okay, and the last paragraph here covers the last bullet point of our task, and it is, I hope I will be of great help to you during the trip. By the way, there are a couple of questions I would like to ask. Can you please clarify, is the accommodation in Paris included in the price we paid for the trip? I would also like to know if this is necessary to bring towels, or are they provided in the hotel? See you soon, Darian. So this is how I finished the whole letter. Let's break this down. We used the first sentence, I hope I will be of great help to you during the trip. Again, just to show our good intentions, because that is a letter and it's a personal one. Then we move to the last part of the task and we just move to the questions basically. We use the sentence, by the way, there are a couple of questions that I would like to ask, as a link to the next sentences. And next we just have 2 questions about the trip. We use passive voice in those sentences. We use the word accommodation that is a little bit higher in the level. We use the modal verbs. Can you please clarify? And I would like to know. Those are modal verbs that give you points for your grammar range. And we sign off the letter with see you soon. That's a friendly, quite appropriate closing line here. And just my name, Darian. So this is how I wrote the whole letter that fulfills all of the 4 requirements for the writing task on IELTS. Let's recall them all together. They are task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and grammar range. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really hope this practice was useful for you and you will use it, of course, to make your IELTS writing tasks better and more improved. Remember to download the transcript of this video plus the essay in the description box down below. As always, guys, as always. And I will be very happy if you decide to leave a like for me or even subscribe. And as always, I will be delighted to see you again here. Ciao!